I would like to discuss about how to write answer about attribute of culture, and we should have to write short notes on that question. That question is asked by UPSC 2024 in anthropology optional. So many of you know about the important points related to attributes of culture. Means culture is shared, culture is learned, culture is social heritage, culture is super organic, culture is super social, culture is super psychic, culture is explicit, culture is implicit, culture is ethos, culture is eidos, and culture is functional concept, culture is unique to every society. These are the important points related to culture, attribute of culture. But are you think that if you only mention about important attributes, important points related to culture and you will get good marks? My opinion is quite different. Many mentors said that this year question asked by UPSC is very simple, but if you want to get very good marks, if you want to get more than 300 marks in anthropology, so it is very difficult task to you to get more than 300 marks in anthropology in these types of questions, because everybody has option to write answer and they have to mention right points related to these types of questions. In that condition, what should be done for getting better marks in anthropology? Here, I am trying to give some important guidelines to write answer like this question. So, whenever you try to write answer about this question, you should have to write your points with definition given by prominent anthropologist, right? So for the writing of answer of this question, first you should have to define culture, and we have many definition given by prominent anthropologist. So you pick up some important definition which were given by prominent anthropologist. Here I highlight some important definitions given by some anthropologists. So first you should have to define culture on the basis of definition given by E.V. Taylor, right? You maybe know about the definition given by E.V. Taylor, and E.V. Taylor in his famous work Primitive Culture in 1871, he defined culture is that complex whole in which includes knowledge, belief, moral, art, custom, and any other capability acquired by man as a member of society, right? So this definition is very broad definition related to culture. But what important attributes we find from this definition related to culture? So on the basis of that definition, you can say culture is a social heritage, right? And that important points highlighted by E.B. Taylor for the discussion of the definition of culture. So first thing is that first important attributes related to culture is that culture is a social heritage. Second important thing is that because culture is social heritage, so culture transmitted from one generation to next generation by the process of socialization, by the process of learning, and by the process of sharing. So here you can also mention culture is learned, culture is shared, and culture is transmitted from one generation to next generation by the process of socialization. And hence E.B. Tyler also said that culture is super organic, right? So these are the four important attributes related to culture, and if you want to write your answer, then at first you should have to write definition given by E.B. Tyler, and then you should have to mention about these important attributes related to culture. Second important definition, right? So M.G. Herskovich, he was very important anthropologist from America, and he had given very simple definition to culture, and he said that culture is a man-made part of environment. Here you have to give attention. Culture is man-made part of environment. It means culture is not a natural product. It is a product of man. Man has developed culture in the course of his socio-cultural development. Another important definition that is also very important, which is given by David Widley. He said that culture is a product of agrofact, means product of cultivation, product of artifact, means product of industry, product of socio-facts, means product of social organization, and product of mentifacts, means product of religion, language, art, etc. So these are the two important definitions here I have mentioned. What that definition given idea related to attributes of culture. So that definition given idea about the attribute of culture. Culture is a tool of adaptation with environment, right? So culture is adaptive to our environment, and this is very important feature of culture. We adapt our environment through cultural tools, and therefore each culture has three important aspects. First important aspect is material aspect of culture. Second important aspect is non-material aspect of culture, and third important aspect is behavioral patterns of culture. Yani culture determine our technology, culture determine about our ideology, our belief, our value, our norms, and we are behaving according to our culture. And therefore, culture is very broad. We can say that culture is a total way of life of the people. Another important definition that is given by Branislaw Malinowski, and he had given functional definition to the culture. He said that culture refer to an instrument by which we fulfill our biopsychic need. Any culture fulfill the biopsychic need of individuals. So Malinowski has given two important aspects of culture. First is culture is a functional concept, and second is culture is an integrated whole, right? So, integrational view of culture, culture is integrated, culture is holistic, that important attributes of culture that was highlighted by Branislaw Malinowski. L. Kroeber, he had given two important insights related to culture. Ethos means emotional aspect of culture and eidos means formal appearance of culture. So you should have to explain about that important attributes of culture. And Clyde Kluckhohn given two important aspects related to culture. Culture is explicit, means we are able to feel culture by our eyes and ears. It has physical aspect, it has material aspect, and implicit, it has non-material aspect. We are only able to feel that, means for emotion, for value, for belief, for ideology, these attributes related to implicit aspect of culture. So totally if you try to understand about the attribute of culture, so you can say that culture is super psychic, culture is super social, culture is super organic, and culture is total way of life, or culture is some total of learned behavior of mankind. So on the basis of that, you are able to write your answer in right perspective, and if you do that, certainly you will get very good marks. Thank you.